This is nuts. Absolutely nuts. I mean, this is crazy. If something is nuts, it means that it's crazy. Now, there's the nuts that we like to eat. That's very delicious, full of protein, and a wonderful snack. But in this video, I'm going to be using nuts in idiomatic expressions that we use in English to describe things other than nuts. And I've started with the first one. This is nuts. This is an expression simply to mean that a situation is crazy. My name's Miriam and welcome to Miriam's English Tips. And I am going to give you 7 more nutty expressions or idioms that we use in the English language. Are you ready? Let's go. The next expression that I'm going to use is the nuts and bolts of something. So the nuts and bolts of something. It's an expression that doesn't literally mean nuts and bolts. What it means when used together is the nuts and bolts of a project or a piece of work or an issue is the practical details of that particular topic that you're talking about. So for example, if someone is talking to you about a new project in very general terms, you would like to perhaps understand it better. You would say, can you give me the nuts and bolts of this project? Give me the practical details. And so you get the idea, the nuts and bolts, the practical details. The next one, to go nuts. Well, what happens if someone goes nuts? Not a good situation, actually. Someone who goes nuts for some reason becomes very angry. So if you tell someone something that they don't want to hear and it makes them very angry, it means that they go nuts. Think about that. What makes you go nuts? Now, the next one is connected. To drive someone nuts. Now, to drive someone nuts, it means that a person does very annoying things to make another person angry or irritated. So for example, if you have a younger sibling who never stops talking, when you're trying to do homework, they're still talking. After a while, you wish they would just be quiet because they drive you nuts. You know what I mean, right? The next one, a hard nut to crack. Now, literally speaking, some nuts come in a hard shell. An example could be a walnut. A walnut comes in a hard shell. So in order to break the shell to get to the nut, you have to crack the shell, and it's quite difficult. You might have to use a hammer to break that shell. Now, that translates to an idiom to describe something that is very difficult to do. So a hard nut to crack. For example, you have a math problem to figure out. It's really complicated. Math is not your favorite subject. Definitely not my favorite subject. So yes, this math problem is a hard nut to crack. The next one, In a nutshell. What do I mean by in a nutshell? Well, a nutshell contains one nut, literally speaking. Figuratively speaking, it means that everything that you are about to say belongs in a nutshell. So essentially, what you're doing when you explain something in a nutshell is you are summarizing what could be a long explanation. So for example, let's say you have a teacher who has explained to you a grammar point. For example, that person or teacher has explained the simple present with all the rules, when and how you use it. At the end of that explanation, that teacher might just quickly summarize by saying, so in a nutshell, the simple present is used for routine or factual activities. And that's it, in a nutshell. The next expression could be a nice one if you're shopping. If you are shopping and you buy something for peanuts, that means that the price was super cheap. So all is a good thing nowadays. So how much did your shoes cost, for example? They look so nice. Oh, I just got them for peanuts at a sale. So 4 peanuts, to buy something for peanuts. The last one is to describe someone who is different from others, perhaps a little bit strange. They act in a way that we don't understand. Some might say it's a little bit crazy. So such a person, we can say, is as nutty as a fruit cake. As nutty as a fruit cake. So it sort of comes back to the first expression that I started with, right? When I say it's nuts, which means it's crazy. Now when you say as nutty, nutty is actually an adjective, meaning nut. So if someone is as nutty as a fruitcake, there's an element of craziness in that person's behavior or character. So there you have it. A few idioms with the word nuts. If you would like more similar content, do subscribe and click on the notification bell so you're notified when new content comes up. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day or a nice evening. Bye!